This Hard Knocks episode was one that I am very happy about because it showed how I want a team to respond. So let's talk about it. What is up, Finn fans? Just got done watching Hard Knocks episode 5. And this is the episode after the Tennessee Titans horrible loss where we embarrassed ourselves on Monday Night Football. And I was really looking forward to this episode because I really wanted to see how did the team respond. And it started off well in my mind. You had 4:08 in the morning, Mike McDaniel sitting there breaking down film, just watching over and over again, listening to Eminem. Butch Berry comes in, and they're kind of talking about the whole situation, and that's like the beginning before the intro kicks, and I love that. I love the fact that he was there at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he was there. But he does that even if we don't lose. But still, like, I got to right the ship. I got to right the ship, which is, throughout the whole episode, that was kind of the theme of the episode is just, you know, that sucked. And I never want to do that again. So it's good to hear. And then after the intro, they cut, and it's Mary. If you don't know who Mary is, and if you're watching this, I'm very happy for you that you are in Hard Knocks. But Mary is a teacher. I think she is a second grade teacher. I apologize if I'm wrong on that. And she incorporates the Miami Dolphins into her regimen on Mondays. So they come in and they write down if the Dolphins won or lost, and then they keep an update on Tyreek Hill and his yardage, and if how much further he has to go to get to the goal and everything. And she was teaching them how you're going to learn from this, kind of like how we learn from our tests with the questions we get wrong, yada yada. And it was just so cool to see her in Hard Knocks. So again, if you're watching this, and if you do watch my channel, I'm very proud and happy that you made it into Hard Knocks. I thought that was absolutely cool. Then it cut back to the team, and Bradley Chubb was sitting in the room all by himself, just with the remote, watching film, and you can see in his face how determined he was to make up for that Tennessee Titan game. Because again, he was a huge part of the fact that not only did he miss the sack that would have forced them to punt, but then he causes a penalty that instead of kicking 3, they get the touchdown, which again, huge chain of events. Then it cuts to Tua in the quarterback room. Was he in the quarterback? I don't think he was in the quarterback room. I wasn't dressed like for Christmas, but he was watching film on his own. He's looking at the paper and he's watching. Tyreek comes in, he has the boot on, and they're talking, and now they're both looking at film, breaking it down. He's like, I can't believe I missed that guy that much, and he's talking about like this and that, and him and Tyreek are just talking, and Tyreek's like, our team is too damn good for us to lose games like that. And I just love how they responded to that loss, and how you know Chubb and Tyreek and Tua breaking down film by themselves. Mike McDaniel coming in at 4 o'clock, and like we saw it. We saw it 30-0 against a top 5 defense. Like we saw them come back, and we're like, no, we got to make a statement about that. Mike McDaniel then addresses the team. He talks about why losing to the Titans was the greatest thing. And he says, why do you think it's the greatest thing? He said, because we're going to make it that way. And I hope and pray to every God that there is, if there is multiple gods, that he's correct. And that Tennessee Titan game was what the Dolphins needed. And we go on a tear. And we start proving people wrong. And we start doing it because we already started. Tua can't play without Tyreek. Well, he proved that wrong. And we can't do this. And just Cowboys, Ravens, Bills, then the playoffs, and get your first win. I hope that Titan loss is when they look back at the 2023 season of the Miami Dolphins. That's what turned their season around. They got embarrassed on national TV, and that's what turned their season around. And that's what Mike McDaniel said. He said, own up to the bad calls in the red zone. Oh, that's what he said. My apologies. He started breaking down film, and he was showing the red zone. And he said, I need to own up to it because those are bad calls. And I got Tua trying to bail me out on my bad calls. He said Mike may own up to the bad calls in the red zone, calling them trash plays, and how Tua had to make up for his missed calls. Going through adversity together, learn from it, and he was showing the Titans film. He showed Xavier Howard play, where Xavier Howard had to either cover DeAndre Hopkins on a deep comeback, or he had to cover an out route. And he kind of got like, he wanted to go to the out route thinking it was going to be there to try to get an interception. And then he went, and he said, he'll learn from that. We need to learn from that. And I was making mistakes. I was making bad play calls in the red zone. And I like that he owned up to it, and he knew I should have ran the ball more. I like that he's owning up to that. And we saw it against the Jets, him running the ball. Raheem Mostert with the 2 rushing touchdowns. Absolutely love that. And then kind of flipped the switch a little bit. They talked about Christian Wilkins and Zach Seiler and their relationship, and how they try to one-up each other. How Wilkins said to Seiler that he was surprised he caught the ball, and Seiler was like, I am surprised too. Then they talk about Seiler and his wife, and how when he was with the Ravens, even with his first year with the Dolphins, he still stayed in an RV, because he's like, hey, if I go to another team, I can just, get up and go, which I thought was really funny. But that whole dynamic, salt and pepper, and then what did he call him? Oreo packet or something like that. Just really cool, especially because, we claimed Seiler the same year we drafted Wilkins, so they had that bond together, which I thought was really cool there. Mike McDaniels during practice was just like, yes, F yeah, F this, F yeah. Like, just very excited. And I said to my wife while we were watching this, I said, if you remember last episode, the first half of the practice, it was very lackadaisical and mistakes and this and that. Then they kind of picked it up in the second half. I said, in this practice, they were just really on. And it's starting to show that how important the practice is translating to the game. So hopefully this week they're having a really good practice. Then Braxton Berrios goes over to Mike McDaniel. He's like, look, I understand that we might not have Tyreek, so whatever you need me to do, let me know. And then Mike McDaniel said, yeah, if I say go in for X, go in for Y, I just need you to be ready to go in, which I thought was really cool. And then they cut to the wide receiver room, and it's like they were kind of getting ready in case Tyreek can't go. So they were picking Tyreek's brain, like, why did you make this move here, and why? And he was kind of teaching the wide receivers how he runs his routes, why he does what he does, because yeah, he's fast, but he's also super technical with his route running, and that's what makes Tyreek. Then they showed Braxton and his girlfriend, Alex, I think her name is. She's a TikToker, and all that stuff, which he eventually later on in the episode he gets made fun of for it, which I think is really cool. And then they start talking about the Jets. They start going into the Jets. And I noticed that walking into the meetings, they have pictures of offensive players for the Jets saying, tackle him, tackle him, tackle him, which I thought was funny. But Mike McDaniel said how that defensive line is and how they try to set the terms. And he was like, you set the terms. If you want to run to the outside, they try to stop you. F that. You're set the terms, which they did. The Dolphins did set the terms, which I thought was really cool. Then McDaniel said, this is game time now. McDaniel, I think Garfield or Garfinkel, I keep forgetting his name. I apologize if you're watching this. I really do. Asked him, like, is 10 going? He says, no, but don't worry. Don't worry. We're good. Don't worry about it. And then Welker said to his guys, he said to McDaniel, our guys are going to step up. We got this. Don't worry about it. Our guys are going to step up. And they did. And they really did. Christian Wilkins almost had a sack on Zach Wilson, screaming at Zach Wilson, saying, Zach, come on. Give me one. I need one. Which I thought was funny. And then Mike McDaniel, he knows when there's going to be a touchdown. Like, he sees the defense. He was like, oh, it looks like they're in like a punt defense style. Let's get this one to Waddle. I'm gonna try to get the ball to Waddle more this game. And he was like, I'm feeling a one play drive here. I'm feeling a one play drive. Then he goes, I'm feeling a one play drive to Waddle right here. And it was the touchdown pass to Waddle. It's like he knows what he calls and he knows when it's gonna work. I just wish he would stop doing certain things, but hey, he's obviously an NFL coach and I am not. Then Tua talk to me signs, which I thought was really funny. Up 24-0 at halftime. Mike McDaniel says to the team, this is where you take out your frustration from the Tennessee Titans game. This is where you do it. Don't take your foot off the pedal. And they didn't. Unfortunately, we didn't score any more touchdowns, but obviously we took the starters out, end of the third quarter. But just the defense was just completely dominant. And then afterwards, he says, take this one seriously. It's not to be taken easy. The rest isn't going to be easy. So essentially, enjoy this, but we have work to do. I like that whole mantra. And then I love that it ends the episode back with Mary coming in on Monday, celebrating the win, updating, the win total and all that stuff. And then it ends with Braxton talking to the guys because they showed his girlfriend plucking his eyebrows on TikTok. So he was talking to Waddle. He was talking to Mostert about their eyebrows and stuff. And I thought that was funny. But overall, I love the way they bounced back from a very embarrassing loss. I love how determined they were. And I just hope that they stick to it. And it will be such, and I'll talk more about this on Friday in the preview, it'll be such a statement to go out and beat the Cowboys and to go out and beat the Ravens. Because we are considered frauds because we can't beat good teams and we only beat bad teams. When I'm pretty sure a lot of teams in the NFL, especially the Eagles this past week, would love to beat a bad team. But I got a lot planned for this week, and then if you don't normally watch my previews videos, I suggest watching this one. I already started doing stat work. I already started doing a ton of work. I got a lot planned for this Friday's video. It's going to be good. And Thursday, where I talk about who we need to root for and root against and all that stuff. But it's a good episode, good bounce back episode. Let's get this W against Dallas, and it'll be an even better episode. But I will see you guys tomorrow. I think I'm going to do the power rankings tomorrow. I don't know. You guys let me know. Do you guys like the power rankings? They don't get many views. One guy said in my comment section when I said that the picks don't get that many views, that's why I switched the format. He goes, the picks don't get that many views because you suck at the picks. So why would anyone want to watch you? And it just makes me laugh because people don't know what they're talking about. I'm pretty sure you'd want to watch me suck every week. But I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.